Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Candidly with Coffee. We're back. Happy Monday. I hope you guys are not too depressed. It's a full week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last week we got a treat.
Yeah.
It's like a broken up week.
That's okay, though. Think about this. It's a fresh week.
Exactly.
It's a nice, good start to a great week if you set the mindset.
Exactly.
Get your mind right.
That's it.
And think, you know what? I'm going to make this a freaking amazing week.
Exactly. And it will. It'll happen.
Yeah.
Just think about it.
You have to think about
Crush
that.
your goals, your workouts, whatever it is that you got planned. Handle it.
Because if you're like, oh, God, a long week, that's how you're going to feel, right?
Yes.
You're going to feel that how you're thinking.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking, you know what? I'm excited. It's a fresh week.
Yep.
I'm going to do something I love, move my body.
Yes. Get some fresh air, vitamin D.
Yeah.
Weather's warming up. Wherever you're at. Not sure what part of the country. Some places is a freaking heat wave.
Think of the things that you can think of that are positive for the week. Focus on the positive so that you start off on a good note and not a bad note.
If you slept this weekend, maybe drank a little too much, ate a little too much, guess what? Fresh start.
Yeah. Think about this, okay? Holiday is now behind you, so that's even more reason to be in a good mood because you're like, you know what? I'm going to get serious about my journey and I'm going to get going. I do have a big elephant on the table here for those watching on YouTube. I have to talk about this because it's probably the first time in a long time that I'm craving drinking my calories. This is the brand new, for those listening, it is the brand new protein powder from 1UP Nutrition, orange creamsicle ice cream. If you were that person who went with your friends to the mall in the 90s and you stopped at Orange Julius to get one of their Orange Julius smoothies,
yes,
you need this. And I think that's why I love it. I'm on a nostalgia kick.
Of course.
I'm so in my feelings about nostalgia in the 90s and how I loved growing up.
Yeah.
That anything that brings me that nostalgia, I instantly fall in love with it. So I actually am having, for my beverage this episode, I'm having a shake. And so this shake, and this is only half of it. I drank some of it already, and then I still have a little in the blender. But the entire shake is about 230 calories or so, and 38 grams of protein. Yeah. It has half an orange in there, a scoop of protein powder, the orange creamsicle protein powder, a cup of Fairlife zero or fat-free milk, a little bit of vanilla extract, and a little stevia. And it is the 1990s in a glass.
And you're getting protein. Getting something out of it.
It is so delicious. I can't tell you. If you like that orange dream machine from Jamba Juice or Orange Julius, if you like that flavor, they nailed it.
Yes, they did.
They
got it right.
Freaking nailed it. And it's so funny because I didn't think I was going to like this one. I wouldn't have even bought this one. They sent me this one, full disclosure. They send me, I don't pick what they send me. They just send me a box every month. And then I go on and order the things that I want in addition to what they send. If they hadn't have sent me this, I would not have ordered it. And it just goes to show sometimes you have to think outside the box. Don't always stick to the same stuff.
Exactly.
But they did send this one, and I went and ordered the other one that came out. So there's another new release. It's cookies and cream ice cream. I think it's cookies and cream ice cream. And word of warning, their protein powders especially sell out. The limited edition ones sell out. It's not a joke. This might make its way back in a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll make their way back around. So Snickerdoodle was their limited edition flavor a few months ago, and I kicked myself because I only got one tub.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Because that was a very good one.
Was.
This is one of those. This is a good one. I'm going to have to go and order one before they're gone and have another one. Now, I usually won't overdo it. The most I'll get is 2 tubs of a flavor because I look forward to the next flavor in the next month and seeing what they have. But this is going to have to be a 2-tubber.
It's a good one. Took me back to
Took you back too, 90s. Right? The 90s. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. But the much simpler times. Pre-internet.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. I'm sorry. Anyways, I do recommend checking out their limited edition flavors. I have a discount code for them. I work with them. I love them, but I work with them because I love them.
Yeah.
I don't love them because I work with them. Does that make sense?
Say it again.
I work with them because I love them. So I'm like, you know what? I love them. This is the company I want to work with.
Yeah.
It's not, they come to me, hey, you want to work with us? And then I'm like, I'm working with them. Therefore, I use their products and love them.
Yeah.
And I don't love everything. I don't love every flavor.
No, of course not. You got to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And honest to the people, your opinions.
Yes, that's true. You know what's coming up? Actually, tomorrow for you guys, it's Prime Day. There's so much talk about Prime Day on Amazon. Amazon Prime Day.
Really?
July and 11th. And as an Amazon ambassador, I get flooded with a lot of emails. Promote this, promote that. Listen, here's how I do Prime Day. I just want to give you guys, because I'm a little cautious about like consumerism. I try to be really careful about things that I buy or even things that I tell people to buy because people buy too much shit.
Too much
Shit. Enough. Don't get caught up with the Amazon hype that you need to get it just because it's on sale. This is the way I approach Amazon Prime Day, and I advise you to do the same. Think about things that you need and that you're going to purchase within the next year. Like that you, within the next 6 months, say, you know what? I'm going to need a new air fryer or my coffee maker's on the fritz. Things like that. Things that are more substantial purchases or my TV is about to go out.
Yeah.
And find the item that you like on Amazon that you would purchase once that thing happened, once it went out, once it broke, and put it into a list, your wish list. And then on Prime Day, look at your wish list and see if any of those things that you know you need are on like a can't miss sale. And that's how you get something that you're not being sold to. You are getting it because you need it. Now you might be getting it a little earlier because it's an incredible deal.
Makes sense. What do we always say too? We try to wait till we need something electronics like
we wait till Black Friday.
Our TV. We're like, come on, make it till November to Black Friday.
Yeah.
We know it's gonna be
so
special.
like things that you've been eyeing. I created, just so you guys know, so I'll link it in the show notes, a Prime Day list on my Amazon storefront. It is, half of it is composed of things I already own that I love, that would be a good opportunity if you're looking for an air fryer, a coffee maker, the nugget ice maker, the Ninja Creamy. Those are all things that are a little more expensive. So if they go 40% off or something, it's snatch it.
Yeah, snatch it.
So you can quickly click on my list and look. And if you see the red Prime deal, then you know that's a Prime Day special. So I created that list for you guys. And then in that list is also things I'm watching. So just like I'm telling you guys what I'm doing, what to do, I'm doing the same thing. I'm not going to get caught up and buy a bunch of crap I don't need just because it's on a Prime Day sale. But I did make a list of things that, you know what, if this is an incredible deal, it's something I want to buy within the next 6 months, I might get it. And so I told myself I'm going to treat myself to one Prime Day thing. Yeah. And it's all some things that we need. So you know what I put in there? I put in there the Roomba. Is that what's called the Roomba? The Roomba.
Yeah.
Remember the Roomba? Because we had one, but it broke. And they're so freaking expensive. If it goes on like a massive 40%, it might be the time to pull the trigger on the Roomba. Because we need a new one. That's for the pet hair. Everywhere. Yeah. You know, it goes around the house and it empties itself. So you don't have to empty it every time. It empties itself into its own canister. And you just have to replace the canister. Because I used to hate to empty the old one. Yeah. So anyways, I put that in there. I put a new toaster oven in there because I just don't love our toaster oven. It feels like it's something I want to, something I want to replace. What else did I put in there that I'm watching? I think that's it for, the walking pad for getting your steps in. But they're like a portable walking pad. So I would keep it in here and I could work and be on the walking pad. I put that in there. So I put a few things that I've been wanting in the list. It's not things I'm going to buy. It's only I'm going to pick the one mega deal of things that I would have bought anyway, and I'm going to get a deal. That's how you're really saving. Because if you end up buying something that you would not have bought, you're saving shit.
It's basically like you're giving people the cheat code to inflation. Get it while it's on sale because everything's been inflated. So now it's a deal. Jump on it.
Jump on it if you need it.
If you need
Don't
it, yeah.
buy something
just to stick it somewhere and then just stuff your closet
because
or
it's
your
on
house
sale
more. Yeah.
that you wouldn't have bought. I always ask myself this. Would I buy this full price? If you wouldn't buy something full price, don't buy it if it's on sale. Because you're just buying it because it's on sale.
Yeah.
Like all
Makes
those
sense.
things in that list, I would buy full price. Many times we've almost pulled the trigger on buying another Roomba. We just cooled off. I've already been looking for toaster ovens. Oh, those are all things I would buy full price. I bought the Nespresso full price. Be smart about it. Don't get roped into buying a bunch of shit you don't need on Prime Day. I almost get anxiety on Black Friday too, because I feel like we get shoved stuff down our throats. I almost go like I don't want to shop.
Yeah.
I get weird.
Yeah. I've only shopped a few times on Black Friday. Usually I'll go to like Costco or something for a TV or something.
Like, again, we've always used it for something that we need. We bought a TV, that one in the living room 2 years ago on Black Friday.
We did?
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago? You sure it wasn't longer than that? I feel like we've had it longer.
You know what? The way time goes, babe, it's probably been 5 years.
You know, it's weird sometimes.
It was 2 months ago.
Sometimes it's like, whoa, that was 5 years ago? Are you serious? I know, I get like that too. You
Yeah,
get older, you look back
I'm in an interesting place because of what I do. I like to say I'm a content creator. I hate the word influencer, to be honest. I'm a content creator. And so part of me is I share things that I buy, and I get a little commission when people buy things that I share, and like this, right? The one-up nutrition stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, because that's what I do. I share. But I'm really careful what I share. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't just shove everything down someone's throat. And I really just am sharing things that I really use and love in my everyday life.
Yeah.
And I'm careful. Like I've
seen you get many packages and stuff, and you're like, I'm not feeling this. Nah, this don't taste good. I'm sending it back.
Yeah. Or like when I truly purchase something for myself, I'm not just accumulating. I'm replacing.
You have to.
I'm replacing.
We'll be like on top of each other if you weren't replacing. Goes everywhere.
So when I get things, I get rid of things. So I donate a lot. We give stuff to our house cleaners. Mm-hmm. I donate a lot. I give away to like friends and family as I replace things, or if I get things from companies that like, I love it and I would promote this because it's really super cute, but I work from home and all I do is go to the gym. So I don't need this cute Easter dress or whatever. I don't need this fancy wedding dress or any whatever thing it could be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Anyways, you have to be careful. Don't buy, just be careful, be cautious. Just this is a word of warning, a PSA, because I know everyone's going to be sold like everyone's going to go crazy selling all of the things. Just be careful about what you buy and only buy what you really need. Then you're really getting a deal. If we've been watching the Roomba thing, it's like $700, the one that we want.
Yes.
If it's $350, that's a good deal.
It is.
We have to jump on it. So that's what I mean. It's something that we've almost paid $700 for. We would and we will, but I'd much rather pay $350 for it. But something we need regardless of the sale.
I think eventually it'll come down in price because there's always going to be competition. I think Shark, or that brand, did I say it right? The Shark brand? I think they make their own.
There's a bunch now.
Yeah, so.
I'm just cautious because I feel like those things, you better not do too much bargain hunting when it comes to those.
Cheaper ain't always better. That's true. You mess around like, this one's $200 less, which is for a reason. What kind of technology? Obviously, the Roomba is like the original, so it has the technology behind it.
Right, and sometimes you have to wait to get, if you can't afford the good one, you're better to hold off than buying 3 junky ones that keep breaking.
What's the saying your dad says?
Pouco e bom.
Portuguese?
Buy little bit, but buy well.
Buy well, yes.
Yes, that is correct. Okay, I have a hot coffee update. Do you remember, because I like to circle back, because I feel like sometimes, and let's put this away, but sometimes we talk about a story and we never circle back to it. And I think it's important sometimes to circle back. So remember that doctor in the Bay Area who was with his family, I think it's called like Suicide Hill or Suicide Cliff or whatever in the Bay Area, where he drove his family off the cliff.
Yeah, near Pacifica.
Yes.
Devil Slide, they call it.
Devil Slide.
Yes.
There, that's what it's called.
Driven there many
Devil
times.
Slide.
Yep.
So he drove his family. He's a doctor and his beautiful family, 2 small kids, off the cliff, and they survived in his Tesla.
And they survived.
The wife, when they were being rescued, told first responders that he did that on purpose. And so we had reported it. It was a hot coffee topic a while back. He was arrested. And I actually sought out, because this stuff falls out of the headlines and we never hear about it again.
Right.
I went and tried to do some research because I was curious what happened with that.
Yeah, I stopped talking about it.
And his lawyers are working on a program that's called, it's available in California. Not every state has it. And I couldn't believe this. It's called the Mental Health Diversion Program.
Mental Health Diversion Program?
Yes. And if you qualify for the program and complete it, it's like a 2-year program, the charges are dropped.
Because those are serious charges. He tried to murder his family, basically.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is. You purposely have your wife and kids.
So they have to prove that he has a major depressive disorder. His attorneys have asked for a mental health diversion in his trial. They claim he's got a major depressive. If granted, Patel completes treatment, charges would be dismissed. And it's helpful because his wife is not pursuing.
She's not. Yeah.
She doesn't want to press charges or doesn't want him incarcerated. She agrees that he has something mental health.
Where do we always say? We've talked about in the past. We have that fleeting thought. And it won't, just like that, quick.
A fleeting thought. And it was like that.
Yes.
How terrifying, though.
Yeah. That's not cool, though, man. If you want to do it yourself, okay, but you got your kids and your wife.
But how many people, that's great and all, they have this program. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Because I'm sure all good attorneys are going to utilize that to their best ability.
Exactly.
Whether you are really depressed, really mentally ill or not.
So is this going to go like towards mass shooters? Are they going to get a pass? Like,
that's what I'm saying. So it's a California thing. Scary.
Slippery
Come
slope.
to California to commit a major crime.
Yeah. You have to be careful, like you said.
I'm assuming that it's very difficult to get allowed to be in it. But basically, in California, a mental health diversion allows a defendant to seek treatment and have their charges fully dismissed if they complete the program. It is the latest attempt by Patel and his legal team to avoid serious consequences, as he had previously pled not guilty, claiming his Tesla had tire issues. Changed his tune. He claimed that it was not, that he didn't do it.
Yeah.
That his Tesla had tire issues. Yeah, this happened back in January. I don't know if you guys remember.
Accountability, folks. Accountability.
It's like a miracle that they survived, by the way. It's a miracle. And I'll put the wreckage up on the screen.
That doesn't happen ever.
It's an absolute miracle.
Devil slide, yeah. All survived.
So sad. I think it was like New Year's Day.
It just wasn't their time. Whatever in the universe said, nope, I'm not taking you guys away from Earth just yet. You know what I'm saying? That's 4 people. And really not injured. I don't think that bad either.
No, one of the kids had literally like scrapes and bruises.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
You understand, folks? That's 1 in probably a million of a chance to survive that. It's like jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge. Can you survive it? Yes.
Especially, there's witnesses that say he didn't brake. He just like right turned into the
full throttle.
Full throttle. Boom.
And if he had timed it just a little bit differently and could have ended up in the ocean, it would have been gone.
Oh my gosh, that's like a fear of mine.
I know you don't like driving.
Cliffside. I won't even go to, what's that place?
Up the hill?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Grand View.
The Grand View, yeah. They got
Grand
good steaks
View.
up there, good burgers. And that's not even that bad of a drive.
I was petrified. So we went, my parents had their like anniversary dinner there, or my mom's birthday dinner or something a few years back. Obviously, it was many years ago.
Yeah.
It feels like a few, but it was probably like, I don't know, 7 years ago. But I didn't know. I had no idea what kind of a drive it was. And I was so petrified to come back home that I drank 5 glasses of champagne. Remember, I got like tipsy and I was scared. I had a panic attack about what car they were going to go into.
Yeah.
Because I wanted us all together.
The drive down is not the dangerous one. It's just drive up more.
I know, but I just freaked out and I thought, oh my gosh, no, I want to be together. I don't want them to go driving in someone else's car. And I don't know. I had an irrational fear that we were going to go off the cliff.
And how many times I've been up there just driving? I just take my Camaro for a
You've
spin.
tried to take me more. Since then, I won't go.
It's not that bad.
It's awful. I think that I used to have a nightmare. I remember going camping or somewhere with my family, and this is real. And I was petrified of the cliff then, and that was a repetitive nightmare I had that we ended up in like the ocean.
Wow.
But I think that maybe it's like trauma. Why does everything always boil back to child trauma?
Yeah.
Because there was something that happened.
Always.
As a family, we all camped in Pismo Beach, which is where you camp on the beach when we were kids. In our van, my dad had a van, and we all were sleeping in the van, and we ended up in the middle of the ocean. The tide came in. We were too far close to the shore.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so
he was able to get the van out?
Yeah. There was a lot of help and sandbags and all this craziness, but the water was and I don't remember. And to be honest, I'd have to ask my siblings, were we in the water, or was it rising? What happened? Or is my trauma and
Sometimes
my nightmares replaying that we were in the ocean, or were we close to getting swept away? I think we were like close to getting swept away.
Yeah.
And we were all asleep inside. And I think people helped around to get the sandbags out.
Yeah.
And
wow.
Yeah.
You need to find out.
I need to get that story straight, because I think it's half.
How old were you?
Half memory and half like nightmare. Like I was probably like 5.
Yeah. Sometimes the memories are like they're weird. They're not 100%.
They're not accurate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to ask my brother on that one. Stay tuned for that. But I think that probably has to do with some of my like that kind of like weird fear.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
That the car is gonna go into the ocean.
Yeah.
So as soon as
I had a little fear when I was young. I remember my father coming across, like we'd go across the Golden Gate Bridge or Bay Bridge, and I had a little weird fear that the bridge was going to collapse. So we're on there. I went through that a little bit as a kid. I don't know why.
Isn't that crazy? And then we had the earthquake and it did collapse.
And eventually, yeah, that was 89. I was 14. I still remember exactly where I was that day. But yeah, and that piece of the Bay Bridge did collapse. And the dude panicked with his family, tried to jump like Dukes of Hazzard, and plunged to their death.
I know.
To the next level.
Like Dukes of Hazzard.
You can't, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a ramp. He panicked. You need a ramp.
I don't mean to laugh because it's so sad.
It is.
But
sad,
Dukes of Hazzard, that's true.
So we were saying,
that's
like,
not going to work.
Man, what was he thinking? He panicked instead of just staying there. Probably thought the whole thing was going to collapse.
That's what happened. He probably thought, you know how like it goes? He thought the whole thing was going. Yeah. Oh, and only one piece. Oh, that breaks my heart.
Fight or flight, man. Your brain sometimes does. You don't
make
panic
the
kicks
right
in and you lose rationale.
Yeah.
Instead of stopping and breathing, let me think this through before any sudden actions.
Oh no, because that makes sense though. Because only one piece collapsed, but he probably thought it was like
from the upper
crumbling.
Deck. Not the lower deck, only the upper deck.
Yeah.
The lower deck would have been bad. Everybody would have. If anyone was crossing at the time in the lower, everybody would end up in the ocean. Not everybody died. I think they're just that family.
No, there was a lot of people that died when it collapsed.
Not on the bridge. A part of the freeway collapsed and crushed some people. That's what it was. That freeway no longer exists. It used to go along the Embarcadero.
No,
I can't remember
the Bay Bridge.
Huh?
The Bay Bridge collapsed. The people died under it.
They did.
Part of it.
But there was another section of a
shoot.
freeway that a lot of people died, got crushed. It came down.
That was rough. The quake of 89.
Yeah. Did some damage.
Yeah. Battle of the Bay.
Yes. That was going on too, and that got canceled.
So for those of you who haven't been following us on social media lately, Mr. Michael Escobar over here has a new Instagram account.
I do.
Esco Elite Fitness, to go with his personal training business. He is now ready for business.
Ready for business.
Are you excited?
Ready to help people out.
Yeah. I hear you all day long. You help people all day. You and I are so different because I communicate mostly with my clients written, but you are just yapping away all day long counseling people.
Trying to help them out.
Let's call you Mental Health Mike.
Yeah. Tell them to give up the vices.
You have a
I'm not
good...
trying to be a hypocrite because I've had my fair share of drinking and partying, but that's pretty much behind me now.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with sharing with them to, slow down a little bit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because a lot of guys need help. A lot of guys are suffering. 40s, man, it's like it's that bridge. You got to get across that bridge.
If you are in your 40s, so like
crazy.
We have a lot of female listeners, so this is a lot of it is for your husbands especially, or have them follow Mike especially, but men who are past 40 they go into that menopause situation,
Yes,
right?
it's real.
So hormone levels are changing,
Mm-hmm.
gaining weight, you're mentally struggling, but they're not communicating it because they keep it inside.
Yes.
Layer in some vices on top of that, and
Pay
it's a
attention
recipe.
to their drinking, if they're popping pills.
For disaster.
It's a recipe for disaster, yes. Because what happens is, if you're not physically active, your testosterone is just going to drop naturally. It's just father time. And your estrogen is going to rise. You're going to gain weight. And that for men is catastrophic. It has to be reversed.
Mentally, physically, all of it catastrophic.
Yes.
And you need help.
How you look is how you feel. You see it in people out there. We see it all the time. They just don't look happy. They look miserable.
How you look is how you feel, is how you act, how you treat others.
And then how you see people who are energetically charged, ready to go, conquer the world, conquer the day. You see their energy. It's different.
You know what the interesting thing is to me? I've been doing this for many years now, and you've been in the fitness industry for way longer than me. It amazes me the amount of people that just don't have a clue what to do.
Lots.
They just don't even have a clue. But then they don't have a clue. But as soon as you start cluing them in, they have a rebuttal for everything.
Yeah.
Oh, so now you know?
Now you know.
But all the information you have is false.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
No, but I thought that it's like they don't have any clue. Like, I need help. I have no idea where to even start. And then you tell them, okay, listen, you got to eat some protein. Oh, I thought that it's good. That ruins your kidneys. Then they'll come up with, goodness. I thought that, I heard that.
Yeah, I heard that, thought that.
Here's the thing.
Your thinking and hearing is no bueno.
Yeah.
You're assuming. And go look at what assumptions mean. You can't do that. You can't. That's bro science. That's just you're guessing. It's all bad.
No, but you're not worried about smashing a 12-pack on a Friday night of beer and going to the fast food. But the minute you tell them to eat protein, they're worried about their kidneys.
Yeah.
That's what cracks me up.
Or when the Diet Coke police come after you for the chemicals. Wait a minute. What are you eating? How you look? Okay.
Yeah, it's just funny.
Careful.
You're focusing on the wrong things, you guys. You're focusing on the wrong things.
Your energy's in the wrong place, man, by far. You're not worried about that 12-pack of beer or shots of tequila you've been smashing and drinks and all that fast food and drive-thru and whatever case you've been doing. But they're worried about all the other stuff.
Right.
The protein powders. It's too much protein, but I heard. I don't want to get too muscular.
Yeah, like it's just crazy. That's why if you agree to work with someone, you got to work with someone you trust.
Yeah.
And just let go of your bullshit. Yeah. Like let go of the things you think you know and just hand over the keys to someone you trust. If it's not me or him, find somebody.
Exactly.
Because you need help. It can be difficult to navigate on your own. It feels like second nature to us because we live it, eat it, breathe it for many years now. But I know it's overwhelming. Right.
Still work.
But we have the knowledge. Because there's one thing, it's two-part.
That's true. We have the knowledge.
We have the knowledge. Then it's, you got to execute.
Got to execute.
It's two-part. People, not only do they lack the knowledge, then they lack the ability to execute. So that's two very important things.
Yes.
And you have to hand the keys over to someone you trust and just do what they say for a little bit.
Yep.
Things will start to make sense.
I've done it a few times with you, with your old coach. Both times worked. I just listened, shut up, and followed the diet or the macros or whatever the plan was, and it worked.
What's your advice to people who are starting out? Like someone who just doesn't even know where to start. They're just lost and they desire to live a healthy lifestyle, but they don't even know, like, where do I even start? So I think a lot of people, that's what gets them stuck. Failure to launch.
They overthink it. Intimidation, overthinking it. Don't know where to start.
So what's your advice? You
have to get into a gym setting first off and get comfortable. If you know absolutely nothing, save your money and hire a trainer to guide you. Because what's going to happen is, I come from that 80s, 90s era of bodybuilding and ego lifting. And I know for a fact that I picked up a lot of bad habits along the way. Ego lifting way too much weight that I can handle. And I see too many people doing that now. Their technique and form, and they're doing crazy stuff like they're going to hurt themselves. So.
You know what? I do believe that if you have the ability to hire an in-person personal trainer, and that's what I did. That's what got me going. And the reason why it's very valuable is you got to understand, be smart about your hour with your trainer. Soak up everything they're telling you.
That's the mistake. Let me stop you. That's the mistake people don't do. Is they just look at it like, for instance, you trained me for an hour. I just listened to what you said. Okay, you listened to what she said. But did you store it in there? Do you remember what she said? So you could practice it on your own. The more you do it on your own, the better you're going to get with your body, with your vessel. That's the reason why I took martial arts. I wanted to get better with my vessel.
Yeah. So that was my point. So use that hour, maximize it.
Yes.
I did that. Like with Matt.
Yes, you learn.
I did that. We would talk. I would ask him why, or I would ask questions about macros and protein. And I would say, what's wrong with this? Or why can't I eat more of this? Or what's the problem with that?
See?
I would ask questions throughout my hour. And he, as a fitness professional, would love talking about stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're not going to be like, no, we're not going to talk about that. You got to do these bicep curls. They're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about. They're almost like little counselors.
You got them for that 50 minutes.
So you maximize that. I was like a sponge, just soaking up so much knowledge.
You were soaking up the game
from him.
A pro.
And that's why it's so invaluable. So that's what I recommend is don't just hire a trainer and then, because listen, for one, chances are trainers are very expensive. You're going to work with them maybe twice a week. You need to work out more than that.
Yeah.
So it's not that you're going to hire a trainer, work out twice a week with a trainer, and then suddenly have the body of your dreams. You're going to have to pay attention to what they're doing with you so that you can do it on your own.
Yes, exactly.
And then you're also going to have to implement all the other things, right? Macros and protein and all of that. But a lot of that information you can get from your trainer. Now, with you, which is cool, is you get the whole shebang comes with your program, macros and macro coaching, and we're going to work together on his clients. But not every personal trainer does the nutrition side of it.
No.
But they know a lot. They know a lot. They're in the field, so they'll share very valuable pieces of information with you.
Exactly.
Don't talk about, what I did this weekend. Don't waste your time talking about that stuff. Talk about learn in that hour.
Yeah. A lot of clients, when I was a trainer, full-time profession, they want to talk about their personal life. Nah, you should be asking me questions about what can you do better to get to your goals. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I would ask my trainer, and which was excellent now that I think back? I would say, hey, Matt, so what should I work on? I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. What body part should I work on?
That's smart.
I would ask him what I should do the next day. And then or he would always ask me when he saw me like the fourth time, he would say, okay, what did you work out last? So I said, I did chest and triceps. He goes, okay, today we're going to do back and biceps.
Yeah.
And then because I did back and then I would do something he didn't work on the next day, but I would ask him during my session. So what should I do? And so I was like maximizing my training.
Yeah. A lot of people don't do that. That's good that you did that. Very important.
I learned a lot that way. But a lot of the most important thing, though, is, yes, I think fitness, it goes hand in hand. I think it's important. But don't forget that the nutrition is really where you're going to get your major results.
That's the biggest right there. The biggest. And take it like this. The way I was looking at it, it's like it's a you versus you battle. Who's going to cave first? If you hold out on your body and don't give in to the cravings, whatnot, then you're going to win. You're going to come out on the other side victorious. So look at it like that. It's a battle. That's what I'm looking like. Okay. It's a test. And see if you can pass those tests. A lot of stuff are going to be put in front of you. And you have the right to say no. Don't give in.
Gave up the chips. Now it's been 2 weeks, by the way. It was just a mindset shift. Like, it's a you versus you. Go ahead, put the chips on the table.
Yeah.
I don't have to eat the chips.
Exactly. I'm in charge. I said no.
I win.
Yeah. That's how you have to. That's how you have to be. Though. You have to have these crazy internal talks. It's you versus you. The stomach is getting hungry because the eyes is looking at whatever it is in front of you. But then your mind, you're gonna say it's just a trick. Don't fall for the trick. Yeah. Don't fall for the apple.
Yeah.
Eve.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's so funny. So back to what you would recommend people start who just have no idea where to even start. You said get into the gym, get into some sort of a fitness regimen.
Yes.
But what about nutrition-wise, eating-wise? Because you know what? Someone who's brand new and they're not even ready to like, hey, give me a set of macros. I'm going to start tracking. You're not really quite there yet on day one to do that.
No.
You really need to just start thinking about what you're eating first.
Yeah.
So like my recommendation to people who don't even know where to start is to think about what you currently do and that you pick something that you can improve upon in terms of eating.
Or cut out that you don't need, that you don't absolutely have to have. You don't absolutely have to have a bottle of wine every night, sorry. Or 3 beers, whatever the case may be, I'm just saying. Or a slice of cheesecake, I don't know. Whatever people eat, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? All I do know is, like you said, start slowly, build a discipline. Start saying no to, okay, what can I do without?
You know what I think people should do? Write down the calories for every single thing they eat. Don't change a damn thing about what you eat. Just eat how you normally eat, but tabulate it. Because people need to have a wake-up call about how much they're eating.
Yep.
Because you do not realize how much you're eating. You're eating way more than you think you are.
These things add up quick, these calories, fast.
Okay? Way more than you think you are. I promise you. And people are in denial.
Yeah, they are.
They're in denial about how much they consume.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
It adds up quickly. I had a light cheat day yesterday. I did a quick tab in my brain on how many calories I ate. 3,000 on a light cheat day. I ate 3,000 calories yesterday.
You? I think so. I did too.
I ate 3,000 calories.
Yeah.
That was a light cheat day. That was like cakewalk for me. Like when I have chips and donuts and all those things, this significantly more.
Yeah. That's crazy, right? You neglect what the progress you've done for the week almost.
Yeah, I know, but
careful.
What it is, and I'm aware, like I know, I create a deficit for myself to have that, to spend on the weekend.
Yes.
But the problem is, people have this perception, I'm eating an acai bowl because I'm trying to be good. That acai bowl is 1,000 calories, okay? I love it.
Yeah.
I love my acai bowl at Luna.
Yeah.
But it ranges, but it's probably around 700 to 1,000 calories. This last time, it was about 1,000 because they put so much nut butter on the top and I ate every last morsel. But I could tell it was 4 tablespoons of nut butter on the top. And somebody who's trying to cut back and they're like, you know what? I'm not going to have the tacos today. I'm going to have an acai bowl because I'm trying to be better. The tacos are 200 calories each.
Yes.
Eat the tacos and you're going to get protein in there and whatever.
Yep.
Don't get the acai bowl because perception is telling you it's healthier. It's 1,000 calories. I could have eaten the acai bowl or I could have gone to McDonald's and had a quarter pounder with cheese and french fries. 1,000 calories. Would have been the same 1,000 calories.
Yeah.
What I think is when people start to think that they're being healthy, they go, oh, but it's good for me. But whatever, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, are you trying to lose body fat off your body? Right?
Yes.
So they start to make healthier choices and then it gives them a license to eat a lot of it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I only had an acai bowl today, so I'm going to treat myself to something extra later. But the acai bowl was 1,000 calories.
Yeah. I think people, they have this assumption that since it's healthy, acai bowl, there's some calories in it, but it's okay. It's not. It's healthy for me.
So it's not impacting.
So I can have as much of this as I want, even if I goes over my calorie bank. But people don't realize that you have a calorie bank. Everybody does.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what it is.
Every human has it.
I'm not talking about your health markers right now. I'm literally talking about weight loss. If you spend if a calorie is $1, so you have $1,000 to spend. That's 1,000 calories. Spend it at McDonald's. Spend it at Jamba Juice. Spend it at the organic farm. It doesn't matter. It's still 1,000. 1,000 is 1,000.
Yes.
It is what it is.
It's energy.
You know what I mean? It's like an energy bank. And so stop. And then I'll have all the people come, but not a calorie is not a calorie. What about nutrients? What about this? That's fine and dandy. But we're talking about your calories. And if you eat too many, you're going to store it as fat, even if you happen to eat it in the form of fruit or spinach or whatever. If you eat 1,000 calories worth of spinach, it will become fat if it's putting you into a surplus. Don't convince yourself it's somehow magically better because it's deemed as a healthy food that you're eating.
Right.
Because what is happening, and I see it and I hear it, talk to a lot of people, they will make what they think is the healthier choice, and then they will consume more calories because of it.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like organic. Oh, this is organic,
Yeah.
so I can eat more.
You would have been better off actually just picking what you really want to eat, not what appears healthier, and then staying within the calorie allotment. But I feel like the soon as someone makes a decision they feel like is a little better, they give themselves like a pat on the back and license to eat more calories. It doesn't give you any credit. You don't get a refund on the calories.
Yeah, you don't. Or even like take nuts, for instance. Oh, nuts are healthy. You start throwing handfuls.
Oh, my God.
They have a lot of calories. They're very calorie dense. Almonds, walnuts, all that. Very calorie dense.
Yeah. Are they nutritious? Do they have nutrient values?
Yes, they do.
But if you are
aimlessly just throwing them down with your Diet Coke or Coke and just handfuls
if you
at a
are
time.
trying to lose weight, it's actually, I would recommend limiting things like that because they are such an easy mistake to make. They're so calorie dense.
Yes.
That it is the sneakiest calories.
It is.
Because you can eat 500, you can sit there having a conversation. My dad always has nuts, and I won't touch him because of this. He always has nuts on the table next to when I'm sitting talking to him. Yeah. And if I were to sit and munch on those nuts like I would want to, I could eat 1,000 calories worth of nuts in a 10-minute conversation like that, and I wouldn't even feel full.
No. Nope.
Those like trail mixes and stuff. So dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it so many times. Have you ever seen people like they sit at a bar and there's like nuts on the counter and they're just the whole time they are having a conversation, they're eating the nuts. Yes. They are consuming so many calories.
Yep.
Those are the kind of foods that are super dangerous because they're so calorie dense and they don't put a dent in your hunger.
Even peanut butter. Remember I used to make PB&J sandwiches on sourdough bread? I thought, I'm only putting 2 tablespoons.
You used to load the peanut butter on there.
Yeah. I probably was more like 4 tablespoons.
Yeah. So those, you have to be really careful with things that are like calorie dense like that because they will just send you over the edge on your
quick.
Anything, certain things for me that I notice that I just love, or I try not to keep foods that are open, that are easy to eat. Oh gosh, I love these. So I only get them once in a while because I know it's those yogurt pretzels from Trader Joe's, the vanilla and strawberry coated yogurt pretzels. They're like little mini pretzels, and I dump them into the little container, and I'll grab a few every time I go into the pantry. Those calories are adding up.
Yeah.
It's 130 calories for a serving, which is about 10 pretzels. Each little handful I grab is about 5. So if I do that 4 times, 5 little mini pretzels 4 times in a day, that's 260 calories that are not accounted for.
And people say, I didn't eat that much. I'm checking my macro. Oh, you didn't count the snacking you were doing in the drawer and all that? That's not free.
It's not free.
No.
It is not free.
You can't go to the bank and extract money. It's not free. It's coming out of your account.
That's a whole other step. Free. It's like you finally get people to the point where they're going to track their macros.
They're getting good. They're doing it.
And then they're tracking, but they're not tracking everything.
No. They're lying. They're they're telling the truth for the most part, but not 100% the whole truth.
And I'm telling you, until you button that up.
Yes. Then you'll see, you'll make it, then you'll be like, wow, my weight's dropping. Well, yeah, you stop lying to yourself and adding extra calories.
Because basically, it works, that's what it is. You guys. I wish people would just understand that it freaking works. It works so good, but you have to follow it.
I'm guilty of it. Chips.
You have to follow it. Like how since you've been following it in a short, you've finally said, you know what, I'm going to follow it to a T because I want to just see how quickly this works when you follow it to a T. It's been maybe, what have you lost? 10 pounds in a month?
I don't know, maybe.
And do you really feel that much less deprived? You're still eating all the things you love. You're just controlling the volume.
Mm-hmm.
You're just controlling the volume.
That's it.
That is it. And I don't make the rules. If whatever your volume is that puts you in a deficit is your volume. You want to be able to eat more, got to move more, got to build muscle. Then you can build up that calorie bank.
People always want, and again, people will find a way to resist what you're saying. And be like, listen, we don't make the rules, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We're just the messengers. It's just the way it is. You can't cheat the game.
No, it doesn't. And listen, I'm in menopause. When I cut back, I already know. I don't even weigh myself a whole lot now, but it's so funny because I did a video on YouTube a month ago. Maybe it was not even a month ago. And someone made a comment on it, so I watched a little clip of the video, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was a little fluffy 4 weeks ago. Yeah, like I just noticed the difference. I'm like, okay, I'm in menopause. Why is it that easy for me to defluff? It shouldn't be, according to people who say, oh, but I'm in menopause, my hormones, my this, my that. Yes. But if you're aware of the things, the side effects that are causing the weight gain, and you get a lid on it, the weight still comes off. Yeah. It doesn't say, well, nope, Jeanine's doing all the right things, but she's in menopause, so we're not going to take the weight off. It still comes off. The weight just comes off just the same. Yep. What happens is you gain it a little differently. If you're not aware of all the side effects and what's causing it, and that's what I'm helping everybody figure out. I'm going through it now with you. I get it. I understand how it can sneak up, but you could still lose the weight. The deficit still works.
Yeah, exactly.
The deficit still works.
It doesn't stop working, right?
It doesn't stop working because my estrogen is low, which it is. It doesn't stop working because I have hot flashes, or none of it stops working. Even my thyroid hormone's a little elevated from my blood work, and it's part of menopause. My thyroid's not. It's meaning my metabolism technically is a little slower right now.
Wow. Okay.
It still works though.
Still works.
It still works.
And if you still watch your macros and feed your body, which you're supposed to, not overconsume,
the weight still comes off.
So what moral of the story is saying, you can still do it in menopause.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I do get it, though. I get how it can sneak up. That's why you have to be super aware. And if you care, then you will focus on those things. The problem is people, they don't want to put in the work to focus on it.
Same thing with this whole dad bod movement. I feel like they embrace it. Dad bod, they're so close. Show these guys with guts and middle-aged, my age group. And that's bullshit. You don't have to accept that.
You know what's annoying?
Like, I'm accepting that. Nah, you could turn it around.
Why do I feel like it's more acceptable for men to have a dad bod?
I don't know.
It's more acceptable. I don't know. I just feel like the dad bod is like more accepted, but women get a little overweight and it's like.
Yeah, you're right. There's a little, what do you call that? Good for thee, not for me.
Yeah. I feel like they rock it prouder.
Yeah. You see it on commercials. Remember, I make fun of, they'll have some kind of commercials for middle-aged men taking some kind of medication. Mm-hmm. It shows them working out with their face sweating. That's what you guys are promoting. You want all of us to look like these guys, so you promote that. You don't promote savages, dudes that are in shape, guys in my group
like
that
why
are
not?
beasts.
You don't see that unless it's
Tat
a total.
Up. Put them in tank tops. Show them like what you can be. But no, want you to be weak and okay, go to the gym and exercise. Watch what you eat, but come to us for your medication.
But you know what it is? The men that are walking around with their dad bods. They're walking around with it, acting like they're okay with it. But here's the truth: they're not, because men don't communicate, and that's what makes their mental health so dire sometimes. Is because they're not letting it out. They're dying inside just like women are, but women are complaining about it outwardly. We're crying to our girlfriends, crying to our husbands, and they don't want to feel like they're too macho, too much ego to actually say, you know what? This does bother me. Yes. I'm down about it. I'm depressed. I don't feel like my wife.
Man boobs.
I'm embarrassed to be naked in front of my wife or whatever. I'm sure they feel the same way.
Yes.
But they don't communicate it.
They don't.
But they can turn it around too. What's annoying though to me is I always feel like it's easier for men. I don't know why. I do know why. Men, even if have a dad bod, they have a lot more lean muscle just naturally. Men, or their stature is bigger. They have more skeletal muscle. Yes. So they get more calories in the bank. Mm-hmm. And it feels so much harder for us because we sit down for a meal with our husband. We're just as hungry as they are, but they can eat more.
Yeah.
Do you know how annoying it is that this guy on his deficit can eat 1,000 calories more than me per day? When I'm just as hungry as you, if not more. Yeah. But it is what it is. We don't make the rules.
Interesting. You're right, though. So that being said, Men, if you're listening to this, don't give in. That's bullshit. Sorry for my French. And let me tell you, I'll tell you another thing men don't like. I don't care what anyone said. Men don't like man boobs. It does not feel good.
The
You know
jiggle?
what I mean? Huh?
The jiggle?
Yeah. Of course. Come on.
I think they get used to it. You know what a word of advice is? Really try not to get used to your discomfort.
Yes.
Don't get comfortable in place that you know you don't want to be long term.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because yes, we all go through periods
Of
where
course. Everybody slips up every once in a while.
look at me. I said a month ago I felt a little when I looked back at the video, and I buttoned up some things and it comes right back off. But my point is, don't get when you know things are going in a direction that you don't want them to be. It's a series of unfortunate events, some vacations, some celebrations, or whatever. But don't get comfortable there.
Nope.
Because if you get comfortable there, that becomes new normal.
Yes, you don't want that.
And that's how you build year after year. And if you think about it, even if it's 5 pounds a year, that's the average that people gain per year that are watching. And that's people who are on top of it, 5 pounds a year.
That's being modest.
In 10 years, that's 50 pounds.
Yeah.
That's 50 pounds. That would mean that by the time I'm 57, I would be almost 180 pounds. I would be an overweight
and then you're like,
senior.
how did we get here? Over time.
Slowly over time. If I let
you
that...
compounded it. Compounded interest.
Yeah.
It adds up.
And suddenly it's like, how did you get there? You were a personal trainer, a weight loss coach,
yep.
And all I did was slip a little more every year, and I got comfortable in 5 pounds heavier, and then I got comfortable again 5 pounds heavier. The 5 pounds turned to 50. And 5 years goes like that.
Yep. Quick. Blink of an eye. It does. And, also, when you get older, this is just way hard. To me, it's harder to take off. You don't have that youth. You know what I'm saying? That supercharged energy. You got to push yourself a little.
Yeah, and the less you move, if you're not resistance training, you're losing muscle. And remember that calorie bank I told you that you need to build? You don't want to lose it. Every pound of muscle you lose, you are reducing your calorie bank of how much you could eat.
Yes, true.
So you lose muscle when you don't use your muscles. So if you go sedentary, your calorie bank is going to drop.
Yeah.
So if you stop working out and you go sedentary for 5 years and you lose a bunch of muscle, and then you say, oh, I started counting my calories again to lose weight. I used to be able to eat 1,500 calories and I would lose weight on that. Guess what? That was 5 years ago. And 5 years ago, you had more muscle. Yep. Your calorie bank is different now.
You're right.
And it's not because your metabolism broke. It's just because your machine changed.
And that's basically what happens.
You
we have
lose
more muscle when we're younger, and then we lose it as we get older if we don't stay on top of it. And that's why it's harder to.
Yeah. So there's always an explanation, but people just want to they want to say things like...
They want to blame it on other
It's
things.
hormones.
Yes.
It's my metabolism's broken.
Yes.
It's whatever condition you have or whatever. They want to just blame something and then not do anything about it.
That's true. I've seen many people say, I was an overweight kid, so I became this, either a bodybuilder, fitness person. They didn't tap in. So a lot of them turn into badass fighters. I was a chubby kid, teased, bullied, so I took up fighting. And now that chubby kid doesn't exist anymore. That's far gone behind. It turned into a beast. It turned into a new person. Change your new normal. You know what I'm saying? You could change your reality. You don't got to get stuck in the point that I'm making. I'm just born this way. The universe, no. You change up a couple of things, you can see. You could turn into a different person.
What's crazy is, I don't know why I was thinking about it, but I mentioned it yesterday. I was thinking about, there's not a lot of pictures of me when I was very large and uncomfortable, especially when I was pregnant, but I gained so much weight in my pregnancy. But I was thinking that my sister-in-law, my ex-sister-in-law, so Robert's sister, got married in Tahoe in July when I was pregnant. And I remember being at that wedding. I was so miserable and sweaty and just, I was a miserable bitch, to be honest.
Overweight.
I was miserable and emotional.
I bet.
And if she has that photo album still, there's probably some doozy pictures of me in there that no one would believe that we are the same person. And when I say what I look like, I'm not even talking about what I look like. I remember how I felt and how my attitude.
Yeah.
I was just, I was miserable.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
And I was a lump on a log and a complainer and emotional, and I didn't want to do anything. And
damn, that's not the person I know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So what you were saying earlier is so true.
Yeah.
What you said is if you look good, you feel good, you move better, you move different.
Yes.
No one would believe that that was me. I'm like a different person than I was. And I was just so miserable on the inside. And it's like I spewed misery.
You could see it when people are walking out in public. I hate to say it. Obese people, you could say they look like they just don't look happy. Their face says it all.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. Don't have that bounce, just the way they move. They look like they're in pain almost in each step they're taking.
Yeah.
Like joints are hurting. I don't think, and I think they just say, oh, this is just the way it is, and I'm going to live in this pain, and I'm just going to take my medication. But no, you could turn it around. You could transform yourself and get out of that. Trust me. I don't think people believe that they could take it off. They believe they could put it on, but they can't see the vision of taking it off. They have a mental block. You could take it off.
Yeah.
You just have to want to do it. That's it. You don't need no one's permission. You just got to do it. Don't need no one's approval. Oh, they don't approve it. Oh,
yeah, I had someone. Tell them
you're on your journey and get the F out of your way. That's it. You got to make a decision and put your foot down. So you versus you battle. I
had someone reach out and she was like, honestly, like I have 50 pounds I'd like to lose. Like, how long do you think it'll take me? And I'm like, I have a really hard time giving time frames.
I hate that question.
But if you have a significant amount of weight to lose, and that's 30 or more pounds, a minimum journey is 1 year. Minimum.
Learning yourself.
A year. And that's at 30 and 30 and up, you're looking at a year. And I don't think people like to hear that sometimes.
No, because they're thinking like, what they're thinking is, dang, there's 12 months in a year. So it's going to take me almost a year to lose 50. I use 4 pounds a month. They don't realize, though, a pound a week's not that easy to lose if you don't know what you're doing, you guys. It's 3,500 calories. If you don't know your macros or what you're doing, it's not as easy as people think it is.
It's not.
There's a system. And that's being reasonable, a pound a week.
I do want to answer this question before we finish off here. Someone wanted to know, does protein shakes cause hair loss? So much info on the web. There is no clinical studies that support that protein shakes or protein causes hair loss. There's been some studies that are not conclusive on creatine. But again, it's as with anything, it's in large volumes, but there aren't any studies that protein is safe. There's no studies. These go along the hair loss studies. The hair loss rumors goes along with don't eat too much protein because it ruins your kidneys.
Yeah, that's another one.
Unless you have a diagnosed kidney condition, it's not going to affect your kidneys. If you don't have other stuff going on, it's not going to affect. If you're losing your hair, if it's some bodybuilder who's losing his hair because he's probably taking testosterone or something like that.
Probably
taking steroids and things like that. And he's also drinking a lot of protein and doing all these things. So maybe they attribute it to, it must be the protein. But no, there are no clinical studies that prove that protein causes hair loss. So do not worry about that.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Do not worry. Let me see if I have any other questions before we close out. Oh, nothing that we need to answer this time. Sorry, guys, I dropped something. All right, I think that's about does it for this episode. So
wrap it up.
Enjoy your Prime Day. Don't buy anything you don't need.
Yeah.
And be smart about it, but capitalize on the good deals. If there is something that you need, I will, like I said, link my Amazon storefront down below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
See ya.